Hello Wargamers and welcome to another Steel Division Normandy 44 with me Bubblebox, and today we're going to have a look and a little critique and a bit of a review of the SS Panzergrenadiers, one of the battle groups or divisions that were introduced into the game in the last update. So this is another defensive type of battle group, and I do hope they put some more offensive types in the next patch. The game really needs some more offensive battle groups or divisions, but this one is a really nice defensive group, although very offensive and very strong in phase A, and also able to hold its ground in phase B, and certainly able to hold its ground in phase C as well. A very strong defensive but offensive in phase A, I guess. But we'll kick off by having a look at the recon as normal. You can see I haven't got a lot of recon, but I think, or I'm hoping, that I've got enough. You can start off here having a look at these. Now I really like these, the Spar Troop. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, the Spar Troop. They are a four-man squad, but if you have a look, they've actually got a medium machine gun, they've got two rifles, and they've got a submachine gun as well. So what I like about these, they come in a Schwimmwagen, by the way, so no weapons on the truck and no presence by the truck once you drop them out to influence the front line. So you've got to bear that in mind. So, but you can see he's holding his medium machine gun there in the middle. And what's good about these is if they are kind of going through forests or bocage country or through those hedgerows, which I think is what they're going to need to be used for mostly, then if they come up against another recon squad from the Allies, they are going to win that battle because they've got the weapons to do it. They've just got the stuff to take out any of the Allied recon squads, and that's what's good about them. They're a little bit more expensive than a lot of recon squads at 30 points, but you're not paying anything for the truck. It is a Schwimmwagen, it can go across water if you want it to. So I've got a set of those. In fact, I think, yeah, I did. I got two sets of those because I think they're just going to be so useful in the game. And then we've got the motorbike and sidecar. I decided not to get these because I wanted to prioritise other things in the deck. If I had a spare slot, probably would have got a set of these. They are medium stealth, so they can be spotted relatively easily, but they're quite nice speed for a recon squad, but you do have to kind of hide them quite well. And then we've got the Auflaker. These are the ones you're more used to, the two-man squads. These are the very good stealth ones. They're going to hide away really well, but very poor weapons when it comes up against any other infantry squad or anything. Basically, it's going to take it out. But the thing is, it comes in the SPW221PZB41. Now, I'm not over keen on this. Now, but the reason, because it only fires AP, and I think it's better with these, especially in phase A, when you're scouting around and trying to sort your front line out and stuff, to have something that can shoot at infantry, and this thing can't. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but I wanted to get something that would give me a presence on the map so that I can drop off my recon and still have a presence, and I can use the Spar Trooper for the other job of getting behind the enemy lines. So the Auflaker I put into phase A of my battle group. I guess, have got the BMWs instead, but the Auflaker, yeah, just to give you a presence when you drop off your infantry recon. You can get some more of the Auflakers in B. You get a lot more, of course. Oh, do you get a lot more? Oh no, these are slightly different. You get Auflakers in B, 3 of them, but this time they come in a better vehicle, in my opinion, even though the vehicle is a little bit cheaper, I believe, because it's half the AP power, but you can shoot at infantry with it. But I didn't want to wait until B to get this, so I decided not to get it at all, which is my reasoning for not getting it. I wanted to get all my recon out and about as much as I could in A. Now, if you intend to do pushes with like your Stugs, because this is a Stug heavy battle group, then you might want to get some SPW 231s or some SPW 233s to do a bit of reconnaissance for you. They are actually bad stealth, so they're going to be spotted quite easily actually for a recon unit, but they can see stuff, can't they? And they can see quite a long way. The first ones can shoot at the SPW 231, can shoot at infantry and at small armoured vehicles or larger armoured vehicles in the side and do it damage. The SPW233s are the AP only variant of the truck. And then in C you can get more SPW231s if you want, a lot more, 4 of them in fact, and you can get yet more SPW233s in C as well if you wanted to get those. Not my favourite vehicle personally for recon. Infantry. Now I've filled up all my infantry tabs because infantry is oh so important in this deck, and they have some fantastic infantry. The first thing I went for is a leader, the PZGR Führer. Little 4-man squad, can kind of take care of itself, has a smoke grenade. Now, I've never seen any infantry use smoke. I don't know how to use smoke. So if anyone in the comments does know how to use this smoke weapon, let me know. I mean, do you have to turn off 2 of the weapons for them to use their smoke? Is it like the last line of defense thing, so you have to quickly micro them and turn off their weapons, they throw some smoke down? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen any of your infantry use smoke, or you know how to use smoke. That'd be great. So I've got a set of those in phase A, and then also in phase A I've got some of these. Now these I think are fantastic value for 20 points. It's the Stormtrooper. The reason they're fantastic value is they can hold their own against infantry to a certain degree, but they have the Panzerfaust, so they are a great supplement to the Panzergrenadiers. They can sideshot, and also in blockade country to snipe, to ambush vehicles as well, including tanks. I mean, point blank, these can destroy any tank. And they've also got that strange smoke weapon as well, which I don't know how to use. So I think they are fantastic value for money, and I've definitely got a set of those in A, 4 of them. You can get 8 if you want. Also in A, we've got the Panzergrenadiers. These are your standard infantry. They are 10 strength, so they're going to be pretty resilient. Just a standard, really good infantry squad, really. These are going to be the backbone of your pushes with your infantry into the towns. I've also got some machine gun 42s. Kind of got these at the lastly. I'm still thinking about maybe not having these and maybe getting some extra Stormtrooper or some extra Panzergrenadiers in A, just to, because you haven't got that many infantry in A, or I haven't in my deck yet. The thing about these is positioning. You have to get them positioned right to take full advantage of that machine gun, i.e. you have to use its range to get the most out of its firepower. Good for blockade country, good for the edge of towns, not so good for the centre of towns, which is why it needs a bit of, it's a bit finicky. You have to have it in the right position. And then in B, I've gone for some Pioneer Führers. I wanted some more leaders, so I went for the Pioneer Führers in B. You can't get any more of the Panzergrenadier Führers, so you have to take the Pioneer Führers in B. So I've got those for some extra leaders. Although I could have gone for an extra set of Panzergrenadier leaders, I suppose. Would have been a lot different to get 3 of those, 15 points. And these you get 3 for 15 points. And they're both veteran as well. Okay, so I could have gone, yeah. I don't think it really matters one way or the other. Then I got some more SS Stormtroopers, but this time you get 6. So 2 more than you get in A. More Panzergrenadiers. So again, 6 this time, so 2 more than you get in A. And I also went for some Pioneers. The Pioneers have these explosives on them. So at point blank range almost, they can throw these things at the enemy and do 22 HE damage. So they will also complement your Panzergrenadiers. But your Panzergrenadiers are going to be the main one, and they're going to be complemented by the Stormtroopers and the Pioneers. The Pioneers in towns, the Stormtroopers on the edge of towns to take down vehicles, and also in the blockade country. Apart from that, we've got one more unit to have a look at, and that's the Sturm Pioneers, which I didn't take, and these are your flamer units. Basically, if you wanted a flamethrower in towns, the good thing about flames is that once the enemy is on fire, they kind of keep dying after they've been shot with the fire, if you see what I mean. And it's the same with the rocket artillery later. The rocket artillery sets the ground alight sometimes, and if there's infantry standing in that ground, those infantry will keep taking damage until they get out of the fire, which is, yeah, quite good. Not for the infantry, but for the person that's doing the shooting. So let's move on and have a look at the tanks. The tanks is a bit of a slugfest for this deck. First thing you definitely want to get, I don't know why you wouldn't get it, and it should be down there like that, there we go, is the Stug 3. The Stug 3, there it is a really nice all-round weapon that's really, well, deadly in A, really. In phase A, you've got to take this thing, haven't you? 14 AP power in A is pretty much amazing. Range of 1,000, and it can do really well against infantry with that machine gun, and also the main gun firing as well. That machine gun can cut down infantry, stun infantry, and it's got pretty decent armour for phase A as well for 150 points. A little bit expensive, you might think. You know, don't have to bring it out right at the start of A. You've got a whole 10 minutes to bring this thing out, but definitely take advantage of this as early as you can in the game, I would say. Now in B, then you have to make your decision. Do you go for early stugs? Do you go for later stugs and get more of them? Vet it up a bit. I've gone for more later. But what I have got, I'm thinking about maybe only getting one of these, but I did get two of them, is the Beth Panzer 4H command tank. I'm lacking a little bit in commanders, just got 6, 3 in phase A, 3 in phase B in my infantry section. So I decided to go for some Panzer 4H commands. Also, it will vet up my stugs when I eventually bring my stugs in phase C. Now, you can get stugs in phase B if you want. You can get the Stug 3G here, which is, let's compare it to the Stug 3F8. It's a little bit more expensive. It looks like it's got exactly the same gun. Indeed, it has. Same HE, pretty much, but it's slightly better armoured. So it's got 10 front armour, 4 side armour compared to the 8 and 3 of the Stug that you get in phase A. So this is just a slightly better armoured Stug than the one you got in phase A. But remember, the one you got in phase A is elite, 2 stars. This one is not. This one is a standard one, and it's 165 points, so a little bit more expensive than the one you get in. Oh, hold on, than the one you get in A as well. Oh, yes, that's right, yeah. But you can bring a commander, of course, along with it, which is going to cost you as well. So that's the Stug 3G if you wanted some Stugs in B. You can also get the Stug 4. Again, I think it's the same gun, but just an upgrade in armour once again. If you want something a little bit better armoured, you get 3 of those as opposed to 4 of the slightly lower tiered one. Then you can get some more Stug 4s, but only 2 if you want them at Veteran. And then moving on to C, which is where I've got my Stugs from, you can get some Stug 4s at Veteran, which I've got a set of. 4 of them though, so which is quite a, this is twice as many as you get in B. And to be honest, in B I'm going to want to get my aircraft out, which I'll have a look at in a minute, and I'm going to want to get a lot more infantry out, AA out, anti-tank guns, and the Stugs are going to be kind of the last thing I bring in, probably, depending on what happens in the game. So I've got 4 Stug 4s, and then I've also got 2 Stug 4s at Elite. I thought I'd go for a couple of Elite ones as well. So hopefully they will help me keep back the American tanks once they start rolling in phase C. Moving on to support, not over enamoured with the support section. I got myself a couple of extra commands in A with the SPW223. Can shoot at infantry, get around the map reasonably quickly, but above all it's cheap, and it's something that I could, if I wanted to, stick by my massive amounts of artillery that I've got in this deck just to make them fire a bit faster. I've also got a lot of Opal Blitzes. I've got 2 in phase A and 4 in phase B. Now, people have been saying, why do you get so much supply in your decks? Why? You don't need it. You don't need that much supply. And to be honest, it's true. You don't need, this isn't a supply intensive game like War Game. This is much less supply intensive. But the thing about it is, it takes forever to get your trucks from point A to point B. And if you've got an artillery, if you've got 3 or 4 artillery pieces spaced around the map, you can't be bothering moving your trucks from one to the other. You need a truck sitting by your artillery or near to it so you can resupply it quickly. And that's why I've got so many Opal Blitzes in this deck, to resupply my artillery fast. And especially the really long range ones which can't be counted. You can just leave your supply truck next to them and they can just fire the whole game long. And then also, but also if you want, you can get some infantry destroying artillery. I guess you'd call it artillery guns. It's not artillery, is it? It's guns. You can get the IG-18, 50 HE power, range 800, area of effect 29. I don't like them because they're just too static and too slow. I like mobility more than anything in my decks, and this just doesn't give you that. If it's spotted, I know it's only 45 points, but in comes a rocket plane, boom, it's gone. Now you can also, in B, you can get some SPW 232s, which are, there's a what's it in A? 223s in A, 232s in B. Oh yes, it's the one with the AP power. They are also elite, so they're going to be pretty good. They are commanders as well. So if you wanted something in B like that, I've just chosen the cheaper one in A because I just want to use them as commanders really, rather than too much for fighting unless they have to. Opel Blitz is there, which I've taken. And then we've got the IS-33, which is really an upgrade of the IG-18, isn't it, I guess? The IG, yeah, the SIG-33. So let's pin that. There's the IS, yeah, there we go. It does a lot more. It does 3 times the HE damage of the IG-18. It costs twice as much, but its fire rate is half. So make of that what you will. It's probably costed about right, probably about packed about twice the punch of the IG-18. Apart from that, its speed is 8 kilometers an hour. That is just mind-blowingly slow, which is why I'm not getting that in my decks, for now at least. But if you did want an infantry support vehicle, you could use that. Now the one I would recommend, if you wanted an infantry support vehicle, costs a lot more, 110, but it's the Grill, because it's self-propelled. It'll move itself around the map at 18 kilometers an hour. Still not fast, but you know, it's reasonable. You can get this thing out of trouble if you need to. It's slightly armoured. It does 27 HE. It's got a range of 1,000 and an area of effect of 51. This is the one for me if you want an infantry support weapon for when you're advancing upon those towns, or even defending towns, I guess, against an onslaught of infantry. This is definitely the one to get. And then there's some more SPW 232s in C if you want to pad out with more commanders. Moving on, anti-tank. Now everyone's saying, Steve, you don't get any anti-tank weapons. Stop getting the anti-tank tanks. Get the anti-tank weapons. Blah 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 blah. You know, I like mobility in my decks, but I'm going to try some anti-tank guns because there isn't really much of a choice. The Marders just don't look up to anything to me in this deck. So first of all, go for the Panzerschrecks. At least one set, if not two, if you're really into these, because they've got a range of 250 and they will one-shot tanks. I don't really need to say anything else. Their downside, everything has a downside, is they're only a 2-man squad, so if they come up against infantry, or they don't manage to destroy that vehicle in one shot, they're going to get taken out straight away. That's the only problem with them. I've only got 3 of them. I was tempted to get rid of one of these sets of these anti-tank guns and get... Oh, I did get 2. Whoa, hold on. I did get 2. I got another set in B. Oh, yes, I got another set of them in B, because you get 5 in B and you only get 3 in A. So there, I did get some in B. You can also get some anti-tank guns. Of course you can in A. This is a defensive deck. I did get them just because I keep getting shouted at if I don't. So I got some pack 38 50mm, 10 AP power, which to me isn't a great deal, although I guess it's good enough for phase A. Range is okay, I guess, at 1,000. They come in little shrimp wagons. Just to mention, there's no real support vehicles in this deck at all, not in any of your infantry or anywhere to be seen. It's all the shrimp wagons, no weapons, all the trucks, no weapons. So you've got really good infantry, but you haven't got any support vehicles to back them up. So just bear that in mind when deciding what to do with this deck, this battle group. So I've got some pack 50s. I've also got this thing. Now this thing does look quite good for phase A. And you only get one of them, but I definitely would have got this anyway. It's only the pack 38s I'm a bit iffy about. But this one, 15 AP power, so it can deal with pretty much anything in phase A. And it also shoots at infantry as well. So it's dual purpose, comes in a little half track. Of course, the half track hasn't got any weapons. What do you know? Okay, so nice weapon. I'm going to get that one. Again, if it gets spotted, it's going to get targeted, isn't it, in A. In B, you can get more Panzerschrecks, as I have done. And also in B, you can get some more of these 75mm. And I indeed have got another 3 of those. Now, I do like my self-propelled guns, anti-tank guns. And they have got one here, the Marder 3. But to me, for 110 points, I would actually, despite losing that mobility, I would rather have the anti-tank guns, because this just doesn't look up to it. to me. I haven't used it. If you have and you think it's better than I'm saying, and you do use it and you do find it effective, please just let me know in the comments below and tell me why and how you used it. Don't just say, oh, it's better, full stop. It's better because, and give me a reason. So 13 AP power. Range is actually good, isn't it? I give you that. The range is good, 1200. So I'll give it that. I didn't notice that before. And I assume it's got a pretty nice, it's pretty good against infantry. But the armour is very poor though. And then, so they're in B. You can get those in B. You can't get any of those in A, just in B. You can get 3 of them. And then you can get some 88mm again. These things. Oh no, these things. Yes, these are the new ones. Oh, there. These are awesome. These are 22 AP power. Brilliant anti-tank weapon at last. This is the powerful one. It's very expensive. You can get a number of them, I think. You can get 1 in B. Yeah, you can get 1 in B. I think I've got that, haven't I? Did I get that in B? Surely I got that, didn't I? I can't even see it. 75mm. 88mm. Did I not get that? I should have got that in B. Oh no, I remember now. I decided to get 3 in C instead. So you can get 1 of these in B, or, as I have done, you can get a bunch of them in C. And I decided to get 1 at Elite in C, and I decided to get 2 at Veteran in C, because then I can get 3. And it's really in C you need them, to be honest. Especially if you've got some of those, that 75mm in A to look after you. 3 of them, in fact. So yeah, they're the anti-tank guns. You can get more Marders in C as well. You can actually get 5, which is quite a lot. So I would be interested if anyone has used them and how you use them and stuff, whether they were effective. And moving on to the anti-air units, there's a choice of 2 in Phase A. You can get the Flak-Villings or you can get the Flak 36-37mm. I've gone for the Flak-Villings. Why? Seems a bit of a no-brainer to me. I don't know whether they've done this on purpose, but the Flak-Villings, you get 2 of them. They cost 70 points. They've got an HE power of 12, AoE of 8, range of 800, very good rate of fire of 444. The Flak, you get 1 only. It's a very similar price. Range is a bit more, area of effects a bit more, rate of fire is 92. Surely the Flak-Villings are a lot better, in my opinion. And you get 2 of them, so you can like put 1 on each flank or whatever you want to do with them. So I've gone for that in A. You could get all 3 of course, but I've gone for just 2 Flak-Villings. Let me know if I'm missing something. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm missing something. Now in B, there's quite the choice. You can get the Flak-Villings again if you want, or you can get the Flak 36-37mm again if you want. But then you've got these self-propelled ones, the SDK-FZs. So you can get the SDK-FZ 10-4, or you can get the SDK FZ7-1. I've gone for the first one, the 10-4. The reason is because you can get 4 of them, whereas if you get the other one, you only get 1. So that's why I've gone for them over the SDK FZ7-1s, even though the 7-1s are much more powerful. I wanted the 4 so I can kind of spread them around. If you lose 1, you still got 3 more, etc. Those sorts of reasons. Now if you compare the SDK FZ 10-4 to the Flak-Villings, which I could also get 3 of, they are actually a lot worse in terms of firepower, but the reason I've got them is they're self-propelled and I can move them around. So I've got the Flak-Villings if I want to put something in a place, one place, and then I've got these guys, 4 of them in fact, 4 of them, yeah, 4 of them in fact, if I want to be able to move them around a little bit. Okay, so they're faster. They're on a half track, so that's good for me. That's good in my opinion. So that's in B. In C, you can get more SDK FZ7-1s, or you can get the, have these already been in the 7-2s, which we've just spoken about, or you can get the 7-2s, which are a slight upgrade. Yeah, they're a slight upgrade. Now I've gone for the 7-2s because they are probably the most powerful anti-air unit in this deck, I would think. Maybe, but I've got them vetted up, so you can get them. Oh, sorry, they're not on there. So if I drop them down, you can see they're in that slot there. So I put both of them just to bring in and see if I want something more powerful to stick somewhere. And again, they're self-propelled. You can move them around. Moving on. This is where the fun begins. The artillery. Is there too much in the game? Now, one thing I will say about the artillery is I believe, this might be controversial, I don't know, it's overpowered against infantry because it devastates infantry. And I don't want to see artillery becoming overpowered in the game. Now, even in realism terms, artillery doesn't decimate infantry the way it does in this game. It suppresses infantry. It suppresses infantry in reality really well. But those infantry go to ground, they go into their bunkers, they go into their foxholes, they go into their underground tunnels where they're safe. Yes, they're stressed. Yes, their morale goes down, all that stuff, but they don't die. And when the artillery is finished, they pop back out again and they can still fight. So I think it would be much better if the artillery, yes, completely suppressed the infantry, but didn't kill them as much, so you still have to go in with your infantry and your whatever else to actually finish them off. You can't just walk into a town full of dead infantry. Yes, the artillery should damage the vehicles, but not all the infantry. That's my opinion anyway. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. But let's have a look at the artillery, and while it's in the game, I'm going to bloody use it, let's face it. First of all, we've got quite a nice selection of mortars in A. We've got some of the standard kind of mortars that you get, but with a fairly long range of 1,200 meters. They're the ones I've gone for. They're kind of like, what do you call them, a medium mortar, I guess. They pack a fair punch at 10 HE, but they're quite fast rate of fire of 10 as well. And if you stick a commander by them, that'll go up to like 12, 13 rounds rate of fire rounds per minute. And then you've got some off-board artillery. Now, both of these I'm bringing in at the start in Phase A, because it's in Phase A you need to do the damage with this particular battle group. You need to get into your position. You need to stabilise your position in Phase A in the first 10 minutes before the enemy can have a chance to get back at you. These things, I don't know if there's any other battle groups at the moment that allow you to have off-board artillery in Phase A, but these ones do. I've got one set of them. You can get up to 3 sets. Remember, you only get 3 rounds, but they're going to clear out infantry for you in towns, basically, so you can save your infantry. Then in B, yes, we've got the Nebelwerfer 41. It's got quite a decent rate of fire, I guess, of two rounds a minute. These things are really good, and they set the ground alight as well, which is even better. Range is 1600, so you keep them out of trouble. Area effect is really nice. They're just a fun unit. They take a bit of resupply. You're going to have a resupply wagon near them at all times if you use these things, but they are a lot of fun, I have to say, and I've got a set of those in my deck. And I've also got a set of the other ones, the Nebelwerfer 42s, and if I pin them together we'll have a quick look at the difference. So the Nebelwerfer 42s, they cost twice as much. I've still only got an HE around about the same, slightly more at 30. The range is the same, and the rate of fire is actually a lot less. Not that makes a lot of difference with these, but the area of effect is a lot more. So they do a lot more, they cover a lot more ground, should we say. So if you want something a little bit more pinpoint, perhaps go for the 41. If you want something a little bit more spread, perhaps go for the 42. I've bought both, so I've got something for every eventuality in terms of artillery. You also, in B, you get 2 of the Nebelwerfers and 1 of the 42s. And that's what I've got. Also in B, if you wanted, you can get some really, really heavy long-range mortars, HE of 20 and a rate of fire of 8 rounds a minute. That's some serious mortar there. I mean, I would have got those, but I kind of don't have room because there was other things I wanted in my artillery deck. Artillery's part of the battle group, but these look really nice as well if you wanted to get some long-range heavy mortars. There's the Nebelwerfers. You can also get these things. Really, I don't know why you would get them, and I'll tell you why. Because those mortars cost almost the same, 110. The range you're not too worried about. You're well behind the front line anyway. But look at the HE power on the mortar, 20, and look at the HE power on the FK18, 9. Rate of fire on the mortar 8, rate of fire on that other thing 5, area effect bigger. Why would you bother getting the FK18 when you can get the mortar? No brainer. Or am I missing something again? I don't know. Also, we've got this beast. Oh yeah, this is the one. 4,000 meters range. Plonk this down, stick a resupply wagon by it, put it on a hotkey, and fire your artillery all game long, not even having to worry about it. I've got two of them in phase B as well. They don't just come out in phase C. You can get these things at the start of phase B, and they are devastating to the enemy because the enemy can't counter them unless they chance sending a load of bombers over to fire position where they think your artillery is, and they'll lose all their planes. Really awesome weapon for the SS Panzergrenadiers. In C, we've got more of those heavy mortars which look so awesome. We've got some Bio-Schwinn wagons, more off-board artillery, more powerful than the ones you get in A. In fact, very powerful indeed. Really nice weapon as well if you want some more of those. I've tended again to stack my deck with these things. I've got another 3 in phase C of these to fire long range to the enemy, to try and maybe tip the balance in a close game in phase C. Who knows? But I just think they look absolutely amazing. So moving on to the aircraft. You've only got 4 aircraft slots, so you're going to have to choose wisely here. Storch, because of the availability here, I wouldn't go for them because you've only got 4 slots. If I had 6, 7 slots, maybe, or maybe not. I mean, they haven't even got a weapon, and I prefer to use my ground recon, as you may well know if you watch my videos. The Ju-87D, now, at first look at these things, they look terrible. Honestly, I'll tell you why. I haven't tried them, so I shouldn't say that without being able to qualify it by having tested them, because I haven't. But if you have tested these in-game, or used these in-game, tell me how you got on with them, because they just look incredibly slow. I mean, every single time, surely they're going to get shot down. They're bombers. They have to fly almost over the target to drop their bombs. And surely they're just going to get shot down. They're so slow. I think these things, these dive bombers, they were really good early on in the war, like 1940, 39, 40, 1941, the beginning of Barbarossa, the Polish campaign, the French campaign, that sort of thing, because the enemy air force wasn't up to, didn't have air superiority really, didn't have equal air superiority even. But by the time of D-Day, where the Allies had at least equal, if not air superiority over the enemy, these things were just going to get shot down left, right and centre, surely. I mean, maybe I've got it wrong, but that's my feeling on these things. But let me know anyway in the comments below. But what I've gone for is the only one that I could really choose, which is the ME-109 G2. The BR-21 with the rockets, so that I've got something in case we come up against any big tanks in phase A, and then they'll be useful. These things are useful throughout the whole game as well, in phase B and in phase C. Then in B, we've got more of the Ju-87Ds, which we've already spoken about. We've got the Ju-87G as well, which basically is a tank buster. Actually, I haven't tried these. Again, the speed, 320. I don't see them being that useful, really, personally. It says they've got really excellent agility, which means I guess they can turn really well because they're so slow. I'll have to test them in game, but this is kind of the first time I've built a deck for this. So anyway, yeah, I'm not so sure. Let me know in the comments. I've gone for where are they? Oh, we'll come down to them in a minute. We've also got the Ju-87. Hold on, we had a look at that already. Yeah, Ju-87D. Oh yeah, the Focke-Wulf. Well, I think it's Focke-Wulf FW 190A8. That's what I've gone for because I want some air superiority. So we're going to be taking a town. We've got enough. We've got plenty of. We've got enough. We've got some AA for phase A. Bring these things out in phase B. These aren't for offensive actions. These are more for defensive actions to protect all of our artillery and to protect our front line. Not really to fly over the enemy's lines if we can help it. Sometimes they do it themselves, but you know, I've also got a couple more of the ME-109 G2 BR-21 rocket aircraft. The is this the upgraded version or is it the same one? I think it's the same one, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same one. What else can you get in B? Ju-88Ss, yeah. If you want some 17 kilogram bombs, if you want something that packs a little bit bigger of a punch. I mean, even these do 600 kilometers an hour, for goodness sake, so they're a lot better, faster than those dive bombers. So yeah, I'd go for these if you wanted something a little bit more little bit more substantial payload. Pretty good. And then we've got the more Ju-88Ss in B. In C, you can get Ju-87Gs. Is that another upgrade? No, that's the same as the one in B. Okay. Yeah, just too slow. Just too slow. Ju-88Ss again. This time you can get 2 of them vetted there. And then more Ju-88Ss. You can get, actually, if you wanted to, you get 2, 4, 6, you can get 8 Ju-88Ss if you really wanted to bomb the hell out of someone at endgame. But I haven't gone for that. I've gone for a couple of fighters, a couple of rocket planes, just to support the rest of my forces for this battalion, this battle group, really. So that's it, guys. That is my battle group for the SS Panzergrenadiers. My little review. Let me know what you think. I'll put a gameplay for this one up tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.